Good morning, students. Welcome to the live lecture of Real Analysis 2. In the last lecture, we have started an important lemma proving for a bounded function f defined on a measurable set E, then f is measurable if and only if supremum integration phi is equal to infimum integration psi. The logic behind this was we have seen. Our aim is to find out the two simple functions phi and psi which are going to cover your function f. That is psi will be a bigger function, phi will be a smaller function, right? Then we have started proving this. First part we have completed. The second part was left incompleted. Some small part we will cover in today's lecture. Now, in order to prove this result, we will start with f to be a measurable function, and our aim will be to prove this statement. Supremum integration phi is equal to infimum integration psi. For this, what we have done, we have found first we have divided the range of the function f minus n2 plus m into 2n equal parts. These are the parts we have made for the given function, and according to this, we have defined the function ek. No doubt these ek's are the subsets of the domain. Okay, therefore this subsets of domain we have defined the collecting the elements x and e such that function values lies between strictly greater by m by n k minus 1 to less equal by m by n into k. Then whatever this ek is, we were going to find out these will be the pairwise disjoint sets. Why pairwise disjoint? Because this lower bound is excluded. The elements which will take the value f of x equal to m by n into k minus 1 will be excluded, and only these values will be included. Therefore, whatever the sets we will get will be a pairwise disjoint sets. Okay, and as the subset f is measurable, we know whenever the set f is measurable, the set of this type x in e, f of x greater than alpha, less than or equals to alpha, all those four sets will be the measurable set. Therefore, this EKs will be the measurable sets. And if I write this set E to be union of all such a EKs, then may I say this E is also measurable. Okay, actually, it is given in the statement itself that E is measurable. Then how to find out the measure of E? Measure of E will be summation k from minus n to plus n measure of EK. Right? Now, by taking these two function values, knowing the function lies between these two values, we will take this to be one simple function, this to be another simple function. Here I have written this one. Okay. So let us define the function sin and phi n like this. Okay. And clearly we can observe as the functions are defined on the measurable sets and taking finite values. How many finite values it is going to take? From minus n to plus n means 2n finite values it is going to take in. Therefore, these two will be my simple function. Simple function such that f of x lies between these two values. Once this function lies between the two values, let us check what is infimum integration psi. Infimum integration psi we have obtained by this equation number 3. Similarly, supremum integration phi we have obtained by equation number 4. Now, let us just take the addition, right? Therefore, we have written this is greater equal by 0 and our aim is to prove that this is tending to 0. Therefore, just by writing those summation values, we can easily observe that this value is tending to 0. Tending to 0 means what about these two values? Infimum integration psi is equal to supremum integration phi. This is what the step number 1 we have completed. Okay, let us move for the converse part. In the converse part, our assumption will be infimum integration psi is equal to supremum integration phi is equal to alpha, and the aim is to prove that the function f is measurable. If these values are alpha, infimum means what? This is greatest lower bound. Greatest lower bound. Therefore, if this is my lower bound and if we add some positive number into this, this will not be the lower bound. This will not be the lower bound. Similarly, supremum means least upper bound. Therefore, if I subtract some positive term from this, it will not be the upper bound. And by making use of this fact only, we have written there exists a simple function phi n and psi n. That is, if we add here as infimum integration psi is alpha, integration psi will be greater equal by alpha, and this is less than by alpha plus 2n. Okay, and for every n, such a simple function is going to exist. Similar calculation we have made for integration phi n. Let us multiply this by negative side and just add these two equations. What will happen after adding these two? After adding these two, we will get integration psi n over e minus integration phi n over e is less than 1 by n. Now it's a 10. We will keep this as some equation number by giving it as number 3 say. And now we will move towards the inferior value. So let us denote psi star to be inferior psi n, phi star to be supremum of phi n. Phi star. Now what is my aim to show? Our aim is to show actually phi star equal to psi star, but already we know phi star is less than or equals to psi star. Phi star is less than or equals to psi star. Okay, we have this. In order to prove this almost everywhere, what kind of set we should consider? The kind of set we should consider is of the type phi star. Yes, students, we have discussed it in the last lecture. To show this, phi star is greater or equal by psi star. Because we have already with this with us, we want to prove this so that by taking these two inequalities, both will be equal. Both will be equal. To show this, our aim is to consider the set of the type phi star less than psi star. Okay, our aim is to consider the collection of elements such that phi star is less than psi star, and to show that measure of that set is 0. Measure of this set is 0. Okay, therefore here phi star and psi star we have proved to be measurable functions. Why those are measurable? Because psi-ns are measurable, phi-ns are measurable, and we have this inequality. Phi star less than or equals to f less than or equals to psi star. Therefore, to show that this f is measurable, as of we have discussed, our aim is to show that phi star equals to psi star equals to f almost everywhere. Why it is so? Because knowing this phi star and psi star both are measurable, and if we equate this to f will be measurable. Okay. Therefore, let us just consider the set of this type, phi star less than psi star. We will call it as delta. Two more sets we have defined, del v and del vn. Okay, what is del v? Phi star x less than psi star x minus 1 by v. Phi n x minus phi n x less than sin x minus 1 by v. These two sets here. Now what we have decided yesterday to know the relation between these sets. What kind of relation we have proved? Delta is contained in delta v, and I will not just repeat the part. We have already proved delta contained in delta v. Okay, and with the similar calculations, we have reached up to this relation. Now, what this relation gives us? Actually, we have started with one element x in delta v. No? Yes, here it is. We have started an element x in delta v, and we have obtained the relation that phi n x is less than sin x minus 1 by v. Therefore, may I say x belongs to delta v will give us x is in delta vn. Is it okay? This is the definition for
Yes,
delta
ma'am.
v. I'll just show you what is delta v. This is the delta v. Collection of those elements x in E such that phi n x less than sin x minus 1 by v. Therefore, what kind of relation we have obtained again? Delta v is contained in delta vn. Okay. Previously, we have obtained delta contained in delta v. Now we have obtained delta contained in delta vn. Okay, this is what a relation we have now with us. Now, what is the aim actually to show? The aim is actually to show that measure of this set delta is 0. For this, we will claim measure of this set delta Vn is less than V by n. What we will claim? Measure of this set delta Vn is less than V by n. What will happen if I prove this is to be less than V by n? As n tends to infinity, what will be a value?
0.
This is going to be 0. Now, if measure of this bigger set is 0, what about the measure of this delta V?
0.
0. What about the
0.
measure of delta? 0. Right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Therefore, now what I am going to claim due to this relation, now my claim is to check measure of delta Vn is less than V by n. Measure of delta Vn is less than V by n. Now, if this is my claim, let me start with a contradictory assumption. Suppose the contradiction. What is the contradiction then?
Major is greater than or equal to.
Yes, suppose the contradiction that major of delta Vn is greater equal by V by N. Now, as we have made a contradictory assumption, somewhere we will get the contradiction. Now, where the contradiction is, let me check. Okay. Now, then, what kind of contradiction? Let me consider. See, now we will take the integration psi n minus integration phi n, and integration is taken over the set delta Vn. Integration is taken over the set delta Vn. Now, in one of the preposition of integrations of simple functions, we have proved a relation. Now, that integration of linear combination of simple function is linear combination of the respective integration. Therefore, can I write this to be delta Vn, integration over delta Vn, psi n minus phi n?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Psi n minus phi. Okay. Now, what is the relation between psi n minus phi n we have found? Let me check what is the relation we have. What is the number? Yeah, here it is. Can I call this as 4? I think 3 is the last. 4 I have given already. We'll give it as 5. Okay. Now, what is the relation in psi n minus phi n we have? Greater than 1 by v from this file? Psi n minus 5. Okay, you can call this as 5 so that it will directly give you. Yeah? What is psi n minus phi n we have by equation number 5? This is greater than 1 by v, right? Therefore, shall I write here? Is that fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, this is integration 1 by v. What is this integration now? This is constant, no? 1 by v. So we have integration 1. Integration 1 defined on the set delta Vn. What will be actually this is? In Riemann integration, this will be the length of your set, length of the interval. Now what it will be in this case? Is it major? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Therefore, what we have obtained? 1 by v. What is measure of delta Vn? What is the claim? Measure of delta Vn is greater equal by v by n. I think someone has unmuted themselves so that is creating a noise. Please unmute yourself, okay? If a measure of delta Vn is my assumption, no? My assumption, measure of delta Vn is greater equal by v by n we have considered. Okay? So can I write here equal to also? Greater equal it is, no? Okay. So what is the value actually? What is my left hand side? Integration psi n, yes, on the integration psi n minus integration phi n defined on the set delta Vn. Okay, but somewhere we have proved that integration psi n minus integration phi n is less than 1 by n. What is the number? I forgot. Students, someone's mic is unmuted. Bopre Kajal, what are you doing? Just mute yourself. So where is that equation number? Integration psi n minus integration phi n is greater than 1 by n. Sorry, less than 1 by n. Yeah, this is the integral. By equation number 3. What we have already? Integration phi n over the set E minus integration phi n over the set E is less than 1 by n. But what we have proved here? Integration integration
Is greater
sign
equal.
greater equal, though it is on delta Vn. But what delta Vn is? Delta Vn is a subset of E, no? This is a collection of all elements with the sum condition. But shall I write from third number, no? Just wait, okay? Yesterday I checked out my pen tab that was nicely working. Okay, as this delta EDN integration psi n minus integration phi n we have obtained greater equal by 1 by n. But from that equation number 3, what we have? This should be less than 1 by n, which is a contradiction. The contradiction arises due to which assumption? Due to a wrong assumption that measure of delta Vn is greater equal by V by n. Then what should be my measure of delta Vn? Less than 1, less than
Less
V
than
by
V
n.
by
Less
N.
than V by N.
If it is less than V by n, let me assume n tends to infinity because n we have taken any natural number, right? Then what will be my measure of delta Vn? Tending to 0.
0.
If it
0,
is
ma'am.
tending to 0, therefore I may write it as 0. If measure of delta Vn is 0, what about the subsets of delta Vn? Delta V is a
Major
subset.
0.
Yes, both are of major 0. But what is delta V have considered? Collection of all the elements such that phi star less than psi star is of major 0. Therefore, may I say this gives me a statement that phi star is greater equal by phi star almost everywhere, right? But phi star less than or equal to psi star we have proved already. Here we are getting greater equal. Therefore, may I say this will be totally both including both the inequalities. This will give us the exact equality. Right now, and
Yes,
what is
ma'am.
phi star and psi star we have assumed? What is phi
Yep.
star and psi star? Infimum psi n. Psi star is infimum psi n and phi star is supremum phi n. Right? And hence it is the proof. Okay. Okay, we will but do one job again as of Rutuja suggested. I will make a PDF within 5 minutes and you can leave the meeting and join in 5 minutes. Or you should be there, I will leave the meeting only. And I'll just prepare the PDF. Okay? Just give me 5 minutes to make the PDF for my next 2 pages. Because again
Yes,
this
ma'am.
printer is not working. Okay? I think in order to stop this recording,